Drive with me to Miami. This entire week, we have been visiting shelters because we have been receiving calls that there's an influx of people, unfortunately, coming in, and we need to open space. The silver lining is we open space in shelters by placing people that are ready to transition into permanent stable housing. But it is unfortunate to see that the need of going into shelter is growing. Now, when we go in to educate people on how to become rent ready, there's something that we noticed, a pattern. Of course, there are people that have been there for different length of time, and at the same time, there will be people exiting when they're ready. But one thing they all have in common, the people that are ready to exit, they have the desire to get out. And they are relying on another person to make that happen. And from my perspective, being an outsider, that contributes to the length of stay in shelter. What does that mean? The reason why some people stay longer in shelter is because they are waiting on a third party to come in and give them all the answers. I will say, most of the people that I work with, they're doing everything that they can to get this person out. These places give people job training, find them employment, all these different resources, right? Even facilitate a place where they can go and choose clothing so they can go and have their interview. Transportation, you name it. There's every resource out there. And when you are there at that location, services come easier. You're connected faster. What isn't faster is when the case manager is overloaded with cases. Even if they have the biggest heart in the world, there are only so many hours in a day where they can see all these different people's households, families, individuals. There's only so many hours in a day, and guess what? If I have to give you a visual, imagine one person and files. Those paper files that we barely use anymore, thankfully. Those manila files piling up one after another. You see the first person, you see the next, and that pile continues to grow. Even if you connected with every single family, you still have to process all those files. And what happens with the next 5-6 steps? If the person is just waiting to receive, they go to the bottom and they just stay there. And even if the worker, the staff member, has all the intention of the world to get to your file, it's impossible. It's impossible. And you're just gonna wait there until they have time. And my question to you is, now that I told you that the need is growing, when are they going to have time? Because people keep on coming in. Now, the reason I'm sharing this story, making this video, is because I urge you, if you find yourself in this situation, you have to take ownership of your file. You have to take ownership and do your part. If the case manager, if the staff member tells you, I need all these documents, not only are you going to submit it as quickly as possible, submit that completed file as quick as possible, I need you to stay on top of it. Because the moment that you submit your documents, your file goes from the bottom of the pile, it goes to the top. And if you continue to follow up with that staff member, with that case manager, that housing professional, whoever that is, your file is going to continue being top of mind. And you will get out sooner than others. Persistence, people, persistence. No matter where you find yourself today, I can tell you, because I work with this, there are resources out there. There are people wanting to help you. I have landlords, I have sellers. There are programs where you can buy a house, a 4-bedroom, and pay less than $2,000. But there are requirements that you need to meet, and you need to be disciplined. So you can end up paying less than $2,000 for that mortgage. But it's not free. And you have to stay consistent, persistent, and do the work required to get to that goal. Anyways, I don't want to make this video as long as my drive, so I will leave you with the idea of persistence. Do your part, take control of your file, and let's get you out. Miami Homes for All, Ivonne Pinedo Real Estate. Talk to you soon.